And welcome back to Newman Outdoor Field. The Red Hawks losing a tough one tonight, 4-3 to the Wichita Wingnuts. And we're joined by Red Hawk third base coach Bucky Burgow to talk about the game. And Bucky, really emotional in the last couple of innings. What can you tell us about what happened there in the eighth inning? There were a lot of discussions, and we weren't quite sure up here in the press box what was going on.
Once we thought it was a foul ball, obviously, but they called it fair. So we were going to make a pitching change, and they said even though Simi was thrown out of the game, being he came off the field, we could not go out again and make the change. And I disagree with that, because I think once somebody is thrown out of the game, and I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but I think once somebody's thrown out of the game, they can no longer make a change because he's out of the game. So that's what the discussion was. All right,
thank you for clearing that up, Bucky. In the meantime, this one really stings, Buck, because Jake Labor was pitching a great game, and C.J. Rutherford had that big two-run double. First of all, let's go back and talk about the big hit that Rutherford had. They're ringing into the left field corner, driving in two, and giving the Red Hawks a 3-2 lead in the seventh.
Yeah, you know, their lefty came in and got a little wild, and CJ put a good swing on it, got it down the line. The corner down there is kind of tough to play if you haven't played it a lot, and it got by the guy, and we were able to score two. And at that point of the game, we were sitting pretty good and going into the top of the eighth. And Labes is cooking, you know, and his pitch count is down a little bit. So the guys elected to stay with him, which I agree with. And then it got a little messy.
Yeah, and really frustrating, I know, for everybody with this ball club. Espinoza, after that long delay with all the discussions that you just mentioned, hitting the first pitch he saw from Labor for a home run over the left field wall. And I know Jake was just despondent. Just a tough break, I guess, for the Hawks, huh, Buck?
Yeah, well, a couple of things. Number one, when Simi is going to the mound, Jake knows he's coming out of the game.
Right.
And so once they wouldn't let us make the change, he had to reload in his mind and his body. And holy buckets, that's really a tough thing to do. He couldn't get it, and you know, up and down that lineup, Wichita is really tough, and so that's really tough to reload there. However, once we're forced with the situation, then we got to do the best we can. And secondly, I want to really tip my hat to Wichita. I think that's their 56th win on the season. They really got a nice ball club. They can hurt you a lot of different ways, and if you don't put a lot of runs up against them and the game stays tight, they can do a lot of things to score runs late, and their bullpen is just superb. So tip our hats to Wichita. And one thing our guys aren't doing, they're not giving up. We've had a tough stretch here, but we hope and we know the fans are going to keep coming out, and we're going to keep putting our best foot forward.
Yeah, last thing before I let you go, Bucky, and thanks so much for your time. Gary comes to town tomorrow night to open a 4-game series. We know the Railcats are good. And how tough is it going to be for the Red Hawks to pick themselves up and get ready for the Railcats tomorrow night in Game 1?
I don't think it's that tough. I mean, all of our lives we love playing baseball, and we get to come to the park and put the uniform on every day, and the guys do too. And we're going to put this one behind us after tonight and go at those Railcats tomorrow night.
All right. Thank you very much, Bucky Burgow. Bucky Burgow with us on our post-game show, and great to get the explanation. We realize that